name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Okay. Oh, it's 4 minutes and 15 seconds. I didn't know it was that long. Poor Jeremy Vine. He's so upset that as we're increasingly a cashless society, that seeing King Charles on a note is a rarity. So here's a dire case for his Charles head to be emblazoned on our credit card, including that royals should be rewarded for the luck of the womb they came out of. But even the right-wing patriot, Charlie, along with this person here, thought it was argument was peanut, wireless or something else. LOL. Okay, so 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Let's see here. Screenshot, okay?
And it's like, miscommunication. And I just thought it's really sad that the king doesn't see his head on any banknotes because we're not using cash. So I tweeted, given that we are not using cash anymore, and given that HM the king has not really seen his face on coins and banknotes, we should have a law ensuring every new credit card issued in Britain carries the king's face. So what do you think of that?
Are you just trying to trigger people?
No, I genuinely, that would be it, okay? If anyone scans that and tries to do a fraud, you won't get very far. We've been very clever,
Oh
we
my
put
God.
zeros on it.
I can't believe this.
And I think it may have even expired already. But what about that? Just put the king on every credit card. Charlie, you're a patriot.
Do you know, I was asked this earlier on, and I didn't at first think that it was a bad thing, and then I thought to myself, well, actually, does it have to be the king? Because on banknotes you have all kinds of different famous people that have made contributions.
Or Alan Turing. King or Alan Turing.
Exactly, but now that I've looked at it, I actually think there's a difference between cash, because cash is obviously, I know you're giving it up and I know it's going into the, but there is just something about the physicality of cash, and it's printed by the Royal Mint and it's got the whole treasury sort of background. So there's something different. But on your bank card is yours, it's your money. I don't really want to see someone else's face on my credit card or my bank debit card, which is mine. So I am a huge member of the royal family. In fact, I don't know the king personally, but I'm pretty sure that he might say, actually, that might be a step too far, having his face on people's credit cards.
Marina, I don't think you would be in favour of this.
What's he done to warrant having his
He's
face
the king.
born into that role?
Who
Who cares?
being born into these roles in a strange
No.
way? You don't think we're here by our skill, do you?
Here you go, Charles. There's a reward for trousering cash from people that you shouldn't be trousering cash from. Let's put your face on this card. No, thank you.
Okay, so I'm way older than you. There's a certain point in life, Marina, where you realise that most of what you've got is not from your own endeavours.
Why don't they promote, instead of putting Charles' face on a credit card, why don't they promote whatever charities, or put a charity logo on the thing instead of his face? Cash will still be there. It's just the option of people who wants to use cash or who wants to use credit. Cash will always be there. So why are they forcing? Whatever, let's finish with this.
It's the luck of being born healthy. It's the luck of being born in 1965 or whenever, without a world war, not born in 1895. You know that? Not being born in Sudan or wherever else where you've got no economy.
Why are we rewarding someone just because of their
Because we're all being
birthright?
rewarded for luck.
No.
You are, Charlie, do you agree with me or not?
Of course we are. Of course we are. That doesn't mean we...
You think you're another one. You think you're here because you're good at stuff.
No, I don't think that. I think I'm here because I've had experience in life and, working in governments and for various sort of iterations and, therefore can impart, hopefully, some
You don't think
knowledge
you're here because you weren't born in Moscow? You weren't born in North Korea?
Well,
You weren't born in some back of the beyond area of Indonesia where there are no jobs.
Well, of course, no, I haven't been bought there, but I think obviously that's something that obviously plays a part. Of course, it does play a part in your life, but I'm not responsible for that. I'm not responsible for where I'm born. I'm not responsible for
We're all like the king in a way. We're all only here because we were lucky.
Of course there's a degree of luck, but we all sort of try and make our own way. I then don't rely on them. We don't have the taxpayer funding my stupidly lavish lifestyle.
Yeah, I think I'm speaking as an old guy here. As you get older, you realise how little of what you've got has come from your own endeavours and how much comes from luck. You know?
Absolutely. So what? In which
the concession.
No, I agree.
So then why are you being rude about the king?
Well, it's luck that Charles came out first. That's a luck. I think this is what she was saying she agreed with, but not the luck, not the thing where of putting his face on credit card. But let's finish with this, because the thing is, as I'm listening to this, one of the things that popped up in my mind is there is so much going on around the world. This is where these people are wasting people's time to listen to BS. Oh my God.
Because why are we perpetuating his obscene luck that because he was born into this family, who, let's be honest, are completely dysfunctional now, why are we perpetuating this classist fantasy of a royal family?
All right, okay.
Now that she's talking negative about them, he's stopping her.
Be made more sexier, but it doesn't have to be with the king's head on it. I think we could have something on the
we
credit
left
card.
The credit cards. That ship has sailed.
Oh, sorry.
We're into something. Okay, we should start off with our first debate.
Oh my God, waste of time. Let me read some of the comments. Bottom up. Alright, what a miserable bad idea. Is this man serious? He want King Charles on our credit card. We all live in a sad world. Me personally, I like my credit card the way it is, period. JV, Jeremy Vine, should see a psychiatrist. It's just wasting time. Okay, instead of talking about things that's going around the world, it's just BS. I think Jeremy Vine wants Charles' face everywhere like dictators. The absolute shit they make that ridiculous man say on TV to earn a cross. He literally has no self-respect left and will happily prostitute his intellect and service to the establishment. My God, doesn't Vino talks a lot of BS? That's a different language. A lot of people use their phone to pay for things, etc. So Jeremy Vine is going to suggest having King Charles III on the phone too. I do not want the royal family on my debit card. I sometimes think the UK is a real country. Then I see more ones like this and realize something is seriously wrong over there. I can see Trump doing this. I was just about to say that. I was waiting to finish with this. And I was like, don't be surprised you will see this in America. There's a couple things I didn't put on the list about those white Africans, South Africans who's coming to the US. Let's move on. I didn't put those on my list. Just know I'm aware of that. Next tweet. Okay, is that the same one? Let's see here. They charge the taxpayers for 1 cubic unit of air. They tag this person here. Says the royal family are a cash trouncing drain on the state struggling with child poverty and the cost of living. Okay, so that's a different topic here. Let's listen. Let's see.
In its simplest terms, this is obscene, right? If you break this down, if I have a sprawling property portfolio and I can't afford the repairs on one of them, then I have to sell that off. I don't then get other people to fund it for me. Add to that, King Charles is reportedly worth 1.8 billion from the money that his estate rakes in from inherited land, from the seabed, from the air, from profiting from charities, from our public services. Pay for it yourself. And also,
but he sort of is because...
Oh my God, this is perfect. Yes, she is right. I can't believe they discuss it. It's the same show. I think it's the same lady from the previous clip that I was sharing with you. Yeah, she makes perfect sense. Let's continue.
State generates money.
Come on, Jeremy. The seabed, this massive boom in offshore wind, he just pockets. How can we justify this? Jeremy, how can we justify this in a period where we have got people, Labour, taking PIP money away from disabled people, 1.4 million children living in poverty? It's obscene. And also, there's no reputation there either.
In terms of, if you're Charles and you're in Buckingham Palace, I don't think he probably considers that to be his home.
But
I
it's
think
one of it is one
It's
of
a
them.
place he lives which we all own, and when it starts falling down, we all have to repair it. Now, you're right, we can decide to...
Well, if that's the case, then he should leave and turn it into a museum and let the people who goes to visit it pay for the fees to come in, and that money will go to pretty much repair it. So he's making the case in a way, Jeremy Vine. If it's the people, so get the hell out of there and stop taking people's money, and he's profiting on everything.
And put some tennis courts there or something?
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
not saying that. I'm saying do what they do with the palaces of Versailles, where it's actually much more accessible when you don't have a family living there that
Well,
they
that's a
pay
good
for.
point. Charlie, how about that as we try and find some common ground here? You could say to Charlie...
That woman, I didn't even hear this video. She's pretty much making the case as well. And Jeremy Vine, the way he's talking, what he just said, I think he probably should put his foot in his mouth. And the woman responded perfectly about the French castle or whatever, Versailles.
The king, look, you don't really need the palace, frankly, because there's just you and Camilla, and they've got, no exaggeration, 775 rooms. So we'll take it over and open it as a museum, and you can
my
move
God.
to St James's Palace, Windsor Palace.
Well, then when does it stop? You'll be moving them out until they're, my next door neighbour maybe. But, with the greatest respect, it's...
Why? Why can't they just use? Why can't he use his money? He doesn't even pay inheritance tax like the rest of us. Why can't he just use his money, his public service to the public? Can be, I'll sort these repairs out myself, everyone.
Well, because the public service that he does and duties are a lot more than what we do.
Like trousering cash from people that you shouldn't.
But the whole royal family, as Jeremy said, brings in more money than what is
This
being
is
spent.
Oh, please.
It is not. It is not. It's
Our
absolutely
economy
true.
is worth 140 billion. The royal-related travel is a fraction of that, and as we've just spoken about, places where they do not have a royal family, they just have royal buildings, actually generate
Which over time are completely
Wow.
devalued because nobody said that. And by the
That's
way,
not true.
you can. Well, of course it is because they're not living there. But you can go to Buckingham Palace. You can pay to go in. You can visit it. You can look around. It opens up in the summer, so people do go in to pay to visit the palace. I know because I've done it.
Explain, Charlie, why he can't use his however many millions, billions. Why can't he use that himself?
Queen did a lot for Windsor Castle. I think she... But you see, the thing is, I don't think you accept that any of that money is Charles's anyway. So I think saying why can't he use his own money, I think your argument really is that he's only rich by virtue of his birth, and that's basically all public money, his 2 billion that he's got. So when we say the Queen paid through her own money for Windsor Castle after the fire, actually you'd probably say, well, it's not really her money. I mean, that's the thrust of it, isn't it? You don't think they really own anything.
I question a lot of it. But fine, let's just say they have what they have, right? Which I don't think is fair either. Why should this man own our seabed? Right, the air. Like we learned from that Channel 4 Dispatches documentary.
Yes.
They charged the taxpayer for air, for 1 cubic unit of air.
Wow.
It is obscene.
My goodness, I can't believe this. There was in one old video, I said something like, if they could make you pay for air, I said it like that. I didn't even know they're doing this. Oh my God! But it's crazy. Yeah, that like the royal family are getting taken for a huge ride. I'm so tired of this Italian immigrant discussing my country. Which one is the Italian? The woman? But she's making sense though. They brought her for discussion, so she's telling her opinion. If this is her, I don't know. Okay, I agree with her. We need a referendum about the future of the monarchy. The thing is that he has so many places he could live in. If this is the case, maybe leave one, how many rooms there are at that palace that they were talking about. If it's by residence or something like that. Leave one residence for him. When he is there, do not make the place public. Okay? Nobody goes in or whatever. And then when he is not there, the particular room or apartment within the palace is sealed off. Nobody goes in. And then the rest of the palace is open to the public. I don't know. Okay? So let's see here. Who is they making reference to? There's this person here. I'm so tired of this Italian migrant discussing my country. Okay, I was born in Hurry. Okay, you absolutely balloon. Okay, is that her? Maureen, I'm always having a go. I guess that's her. I don't know. Okay, I'm tired of nasty, mean, pathetical, and adequate racist belle, and like you, formulating hate. If you have any class, any integrity, any honor, you will apologize for this remark and delete it. Okay, I fully respect you as a trans man. Okay, let's leave that alone. Alright, let's leave that alone. So I guess she responded to it to say she was born wherever. Okay, I agree with her. We need a referendum about the future of the monarchy. A large portion of the country is still happy to adopt serfdom. This is why we have a monarchy, because the many people live their dreams vicariously through the royal family. That's an ad. Marina disagree with Jeremy Vine. He will be offended and block her on X now. She is still upset that the Home Office didn't grant her citizenship. I really don't know. I'm just reading. Royal family, or you tune in. She looks well off. Maybe she can donate her money to the hard done by. So why do those people always feel like other people who work for their money have to give the money away? Meanwhile, the others who hardly do anything, they go around, cut ribbons, wave and smile, and then they're getting millions of pounds. I don't know. Let's leave that alone. Okay, let me read this bottom here. Do the British royal family generate more revenue than they take? Where does the revenue go and what it is used for? Okay, the British royal family generate more revenue than they cost. Oh, that's a lie. This is a lie. Okay, they even, you know what? Let's leave that alone. Alright, so there's this. You can make your own judgment. So let's do a prayer. That was my last one. Prayer for, I don't know, well mind people to, I don't know what to ask for. Oh, maybe this is good. Hey Lord Jesus, we ask you to give us all around peace in our mind, body, soul, and spirit. We want you to heal and remove everything that is causing stress, grief, and sorrow in our lives. Please guide our path to the life and make our enemies be at peace with us. Alright, so that's it. So please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, tune in to PYTE and see some of the videos that I have. I will not be recording for PYTE today. That's all I have. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.